just there. He's just coming out, and he's going to be fired up and ready to go. Now, what we want to show you today, myself and Harrison, we're going to be teaching you basically what to do and what not to do in crocodile territory. And the first lesson is this: don't stand too close to the water's edge. And whatever you do, if you're up in North Queensland or anywhere you find crocs, don't go in the water with the croc. That's a very bad idea. Now, if this was deep, dark, murky water, like you generally find crocs in the wild, I'd have no idea he was here, but he knows exactly where I am. He actually focuses in on the vibrations I send out with my footsteps, and he's all really angry, so he's all yours, Harry.
Come on, Scrap. Jeez, he's got a bit on today. Come on, fella. Up here. Come on. Stop looking at my feet.
Watch him, watch him.
You can have that one. I don't think he was looking at the little chicken there, he was looking at the big chicken holding it. But you can see there, when he strikes out, it really means it. He can go from the tip of his nose right to the base of his tail. And he can do that in the blink of an eye. But you'll see that even as I get further away from him, he wants to go straight back to the water. So that's where he knows he's dangerous. That's his home, that's his territory. So how about we try and get another strike out of him? Robert, do you want to get back in the zone?
Alright, sounds good. What could go wrong? Come on, Scrappa. Come on, big boy. Yeah, he's keen. Now, see if we can show you another strike here in this kind of creek section. And when Scrappa means business, he can put on a hit and get to that back fence in one solid motion. It's amazing. See how he goes. Come on, Scrappa. Good boy. Up here, mate. Good boy, Scrappy. Here you go, big boy. Now at the moment, he's looking straight past the food and right at my head. So you know what, Scrappa? You can have that. Good boy, mate. Now, what you see there, that's the strike from the water's edge. And that can be extremely volatile. Again, from the tip of his nose to the base of his tail, in a split second, he's out of there. But there's another technique that Scrappa has up his sleeve, and we're going to show you that over here. It's called the tail walk.
So this isn't something that we've had to teach Scrappa. He's a bit different than all the other crocodiles that we have here. He was actually born in captivity. So he's actually the son of Agro. If you've seen any of Steve's docos, you'll know who Agro is. So he hasn't been out in the wild. He didn't have his old man around to teach him how to do this. This is instinct. This is exactly what would happen out in the wild. They'll use this tail walk method. Come on, Scrappa. From the size from when they hatch out of the egg. So when they hatch out of the egg, obviously they're not as big as Scrappa is now. That'd have to be a pretty big egg. They're only about as big as this sausage is right now. It's about 15 centimeters. At that size, anything it will eat a baby crocodile. A big barramundi, birds, anything will have a fair crack. So they'll hide out in reeds and underneath logs. They'll try and use this tail walk method to catch frogs and insects. Anything they can do to survive. But they'll keep using this method all the way up to Scrappa's size and larger. At that size, they're looking at cuscus and possums, fruit bats, anything silly enough to overhang the water's edge. So watch, as soon as I poke out, he'll give that tail a big old twitch, then hopefully come up to the tail walk. There we go. So that's pretty impressive, a 200-kilo animal getting almost half his body length out, almost to this top rail. Get another one. There we go. Oh, I missed that. Do you reckon you could grab that for me, Robert? It's just,
yeah, nah.
Just near there. Oh,
definitely not. I'm out of here, mate.
So please let that be a lesson. Do not overhang the water's edge up the crocodile territory.
Absolutely. Now we'll see if we can get another strike out of Scrappa here. And I want to give you an idea, even with one of the fastest crocs at Australia Zoo, just how easy it is to live alongside these guys. So that initial strike that he does there can be really quick and very volatile. Once he comes out on land, you can see he loses that element of surprise. He knows now. He knows that the jig's up. He knows I can see him. Here you go, mate. Oh! Just now it's time for you to return the favour. Hey, Ibis, can you grab that for me? Now, you can see with Scrappa, he's coming out for two reasons, not just for food. He's more so looking at us. Now, what I want to do is kind of show you just how easy it is to live alongside crocs. Now, even though he's a very quick crocodile, I'm confident, kind of confident, I could sit down in front of him and I know that I reckon I can even lay down in front of him. Yeah, not for long. But you can see he wants... You're supposed to be in the water right now, Scrappa. You can see he's quick on land, but mostly in the water. That's where he really means business. That's where he's been hunting since the dawn of time. And so it's a good lesson for all of us how to stay safe alongside crocs. Just avoid their home, which is the river system. Just don't go swimming, don't overhang the water, and you'll never have a problem. The other thing you want to do is not slip over in front of a crocodile that's coming at you. But you can see there, what that shows you is just follow these simple rules and you'll never ever have a problem. You want to have good tread on your shoes, you want to have a good backup, like Harry, and you want to have the distraction ibises ready to go as well. Now, the reason why we stress this, the reason why we want each and every one of you to be safe in croc territory is for two reasons. First of all, for your safety, to make sure that you don't get grabbed by a croc, but also because crocodiles, when an attack happens, they're branded as these evil monsters going around trying to kill people. That is not the case. As you've seen, even with the lunatic that is Scrappa, he is only quick from the water's edge. Good boy, mate. You want to get your fish? What do you reckon? Nah, he doesn't want his fish, he just wants me. Now, unfortunately, crocodiles are still having a pretty tough time out in the wild, and croc conservation, it's always a bit of an uphill battle. Now, the newest threat facing crocodiles is, it's not COVID, I swear, is crocodile egg harvesting. And I'll pass it over to Harry to tell you a little bit more about it.
Yeah, so unfortunately, because of the conflict that humans have with crocodiles, the government has taken it upon themselves to try and control this population. Now, last time that this happened, throughout the 40s, 50s and 60s, this species in Queensland was decimated, almost to 5% of their original numbers. So they're trying to do it again now, but through egg harvesting. So it's a species that is still listed as vulnerable. We don't have the numbers that the Northern Territory do, but they've made it legal for croc farmers to go out and harvest up to 5,000 crocodile eggs. Now, this obviously won't be seen next year or the year after. The effects on this population will be generations to come. So we're trying to do everything we can to stop that. So if you want to check out the big screen, Vindy's going to tell you a little bit about the research that we've done and how we can stop that legislation from continuing.
Australia Zoo and its partners have conducted the longest and most comprehensive study on crocs. The harvesting of crocodile